mama.
Hello there. This is going to be my guide on how to do a stam DK properly. I'm not saying I'm the greatest stam DK in the world. I'm just pulling big numbers, and I have a lot of people asking me how I run my build and how I sustain and such. So I thought I'd make a video on it. So let's get started. I will start with my sets. I start with the monster set. I have Velodreth. I use heavy and light, both divines. This is to give me the passives, which are for 5/1/1 for the Undaunted. I'm running 5-piece 2-fang and 5-piece mechanical activity. So how I always do my sets, I always go with gloves and belt and jewellery, one set, and then 3 body pieces of weapons, the other. So yeah, with this setup, I use this setup in most of my 4-man content. I use it sometimes in trials, depending on what the group needs or such. But yeah, this is my go-to setup. Mechanical activity, really, really powerful. It's a bit RNG when you get the percent chance to gain 100% crit. If you get it at the right time, it's absolutely amazing. Or everything is stamina glyphed, apart from my epaulets, which I've just noticed, so I'm going to make a stamina glyph for those. Yeah, so main hand is Axe, Nernhound. I use this for the bleed damage as well you get from the axe. It's only a little bit of DPS, but every little bit with this rotation makes it so you're hitting above the 40k. And then backhand is the dagger infused. Back bar is Maelstrom bow. It's pretty much mandatory for all stamina classes these days, so if you haven't got one, just use the random bow, or I'd strongly suggest going and running Maelstrom to get the bow. So the other sets I use, so if I'm in a trial situation, I'll sometimes say, can anyone run Sunderflame? Sunderflame is a set which is it gives everyone in the group, off a fully charged heavy attack, an additional 3,320 pen for 8 seconds. Our full rotation on a stam DK is front bar heavy attack, so you can keep an uptime on Sunderflame of 100%. Really good set. So depending on if the group needs Sunderflame, then I'll run Sunderflame. Another setup I use is Sunder Night Mother's Gaze. This setup is pretty much gives you the same buffs as 2-fang on its own, but it's for everyone in the group. Night Mother gives you critical damage. It's another 2/5/20 penetration for the entire group. Couple that with Sunderflame, you're basically giving 5k pen on your own. The DPS will suffer in this setup because you're basically what we call as a buff bitch, so you're giving everyone an extra 5k pen by yourself. It's a good setup to use if you really haven't got anyone buffing in the party and you have a few stamina characters, because most raids these days have around 5. Jewelry and chance are always weapon damage. We do not have issues with sustain, so that's the setup we use. This I would run, if I could set it up again, I would run it as an axe and Nernhound, and then I have a back bar which would be a dagger used, but it's just what I have on hand. I don't run Night Mother that often because we have other characters to use it, but it's an option if I need it. I also have a setup here which is Night Mother's Gaze and Vicious Ophidian. Again, it's a bit overkill on the resource management. Don't have any resource issues anyway, but kind of a setup there, because if I'm running Night Mother if I'm running Night Mother 2-fang, which is the other option, I would be over penetrating like crazy. But yeah, that's another setup we can. I also have just picked up this set, which is Moragtong and Mechanical Activity. Moragtong is really good if you've got, say, 3 or 4 stam DKs in the raid, because the 5 part is when you deal direct damage, you cause an enemy to take 10% more poison damage. With our skills, we have Venomous Claw and Poison Injection. These are 2 big hitters on our DPS passes, so buffing these by 10% is quite nice. Get it across the entire group of stam DKs, it's a beautiful passive. Yeah, that's the gear. I think I've gone over everything, so yeah, let's go over the skills. So front bar, I run Rearming Trap. It's pretty much staple. Most people run it back bar, but I use it front bar. Rendering Slashes, again, it's dual wields dot damage, Venomous Claw, DK poison dot damage, and then Deadly Cloak. This is for I basically run this as the razors, also the shields of shrapnel. It's this 25% area of effect reduce, feels like 50%. It makes you feel invincible, to be fair. And then I have Flawless Dawnbreaker. I only have this slotted for the weapon damage. I never use it unless it's right at the end and I'm killing the boss, and it's a rare use for me. Back bar, pretty standard for all stam characters. We have Endless Hail. This is our main DPS. We have to keep this up 100% of the time. Followed by Razor Caltrops, again another big DPS. But if you're keeping Endless Hail up, this will be up as well. Poison Injection, nice skill. This is a flex slot. If I'm doing DPS passes, I will run Noxious Breath. If I am doing 3DD content where we need a tank, I'll slot in Taunt. This is so, because you can add it into your rotation, and what will happen is the mob won't move, so it'll stay in all your dots, so it's quite nice to have. You need a decent healer. And then I have Molten Armaments. This is, again, you've got to have it up 100% of the time because of the heavy attack rotation. Because the front bar is full heavy attack, the bottom part of that text is the most important. Your own damage with fully charged heavy attacks increased by 40% when active. It's really, really important to have it up. And then we have the Standard of Might, which is, well, it's our best ultimate. It's absolutely amazing. The increased damage while you're studying it and the reduced damage taken, really, really helpful. If you're in trial situations and there's lots of mobs, it's really good. It's also a lot of DPS. So yeah, they're my skills. For the Mundus Stone, what's this? I am running the Warrior. This is mainly for the extra weapon damage. My tribute points are 64 into stamina, and my race, I am a Red Guard. There are other races available, Khajiit being another one that's a really good, but for me it's the Red Guard passives that make it. So when you deal damage with a melee attack, you're basically restoring stamina by just playing the character. You get increased stamina and increased stamina recovery. It's a really, really good race to play if you're playing a stam character. My recoveries aren't great, but they are good enough. As you'll see when I do my rotation. My CP isn't optimised in the slightest. If I'm running 4-man content, I don't hit pen cap. If I'm running in trials with a full optimised group, I'm over penetrating a lot because of a lot of points into piercing. If I was to optimise properly, I would take points out of piercing and put them into either Master at Arms or into physical weapon damage. This would increase my DPS, but from where I'm standing, I'm getting anywhere from 40 to 50k in 4-man, and then even more in trials. Like, it's the CP how I've got it now. It's fine. It works for me. It's not min-max to the slightest, but it does it. 56 into mighty, 52 into piercing, 66 into piercing strikes, and 66 into thaumaturge. Again, could drop them down and move them about and probably get an extra couple of K DPS, but I'm really happy with where it is. Right, so my rotation. When I'm starting a fight, I will use my Deadly Cloak. I will then use my Inferno and then my Molten Armaments. This is me buffed, ready to start the fight. I'll then start with Endless Hail, Caltrops, Poison Injection, Noxious Breath, Standard if I have it ready. Just build the standard to start the fight. I will then switch bar, heavy attack, a trap, heavy attack, rendering slashes, heavy attack, venomous claw, heavy attack, deadly cloak, switch back, reapply my endless hail. If I've had to reapply molten armaments, I will medium attack into deadly cloak, because if you can get used to getting deadly cloak 100% uptime, it's going to help your healers, it's going to keep you alive, it's going to make you less squishy in trial situations. It's really, really important. It's a really good skill. So, as for the rotation, for fuck's sake! This rotation you're about to see, I didn't have food buff on. I still hit 40k with 11k health and still sustained. So, yeah, I will leave it in to speed it up a little bit so you can actually see the proper rotation at the end. I've just realised why that is down. My food buff is out. Yeah, I will redo the pars with my actual food buff this time. Wow. Wow, Rob. Making videos. I will probably cut that out of the video. Right. So, to start the pars off, we Deadly Cloak, Inferno. Oh, it's hit. Oh, my god. Right then, let's give it a go. Apply my dots. We'll do the rotation. Have to reapply my molten armaments, so this time on the rotation on the Deadly Cloak I do a medium. Basically just 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way through. Apply my molten armaments because it won't finish for the full rotation. But again, this is by far from the perfect rotation, but you can see the numbers I'm pulling, keeping it above 40k. Again, with more practice, I rarely use the training dummies anymore. So once I got it above 40k, it's just having the rotation that matters. Yeah, so as you can see there, the Endless Hail, Razor Caltrops are your biggest dots. They're the ones that you've got to keep up all the time. Kept my lamps up 100% of the time. My pots were up 100% of the time. And yeah, that's pretty much the rotation. You can... I've tried it, but I don't get very good results, because of Hawk's Eye. If you swap your skills around, you can apply Endless Hail last and get more damage because of the Hawk's Eye passive. But for me, it doesn't work. Like, I find it difficult to get it. You can get an extra 25% damage on bow abilities, which would give you more DPS on Endless Hail. However, the way that I do this rotation, it's really easy to sustain it. If you're watching the stamina bar, it doesn't really drop. I'm in a good place with the rotation. It's very easy to do. Nothing feels clunky when you're switching bars and dropping the skills as such. Yeah, if I'm in a fight where the boss spawns after, so I get time to like buff up, I will buff up. I will then drop my trap before the boss has spawned, start with my Endless Hail, start with this, and then be ready to start with Twin Slashes, Caltrops. Really good way to start the fight. There's many different ways, different rotations for different areas, but that's pretty much my rotation. Hopefully that was quite easy to follow. This is my first ever build video. Not really. If I missed anything, let me know in the YouTube comments. Thanks for watching. See you later, guys.